that the Lord raises up to speak for us and to give us the answers and guide us, give us that light. You know what I mean? Because that's what we're going to need. We're going to need that light, that guidance, somebody with wisdom that the Lord is showing. All right. You got the mic with questions. Also, the food is ready shortly. You know what I mean? So we're going to have a brother as well, you know what I mean, on the house. And I want to say this, it's a loose environment. You know what I mean? Fam, we come together for our community to talk about our issues. You know what I mean? We're not like how the oppressive does it. They are, extremely, they too formal to even get anything done. You know what I mean? So we're going to be informal and really speak like how we need to speak as people. Yeah, go ahead. Let's get started. Let's And so the first question is, hold on, I don't think they can hear you.
They die already? Yeah, you got started.
You got anything on the mic? Is it loud enough for you?
Probably turn it up a little bit. Turn it up a little bit. Turn it up a little bit more. Move it back.
So grab it. All right, so one of the questions is, hold on. Can y'all hear through the mic when he's speaking? Say it again.
There's a little bit more vibe.
Yeah, can y'all hear me through the mic over here?
You kind of low.
Use this mic. It's a good mic. Hey, big share mic with you. Slap. All right, so one of the questions is, what practical steps can residents take right now to improve safety on their own blocks? Yeah, you want to take it? Before we join.
Before we talk about that, right? I'm Captain Zaria for Blacks BK of the Israelite School, University of Ghana. One thing that Blacks, Latinos, Native Indians have in common is a combination to be called the so-called white man. We say so-called white man because biblically, to identify him, you would have to call him Esau and Edomites. And everybody has had that Bible in their house. And a lot of times when we have this conversation, it's very hard to understand how easy the solution to the problem is, because the solution has been in your house your whole life. There's a manual to life. If you buy a vehicle, let's say if you buy a car. When you buy a car, if you want to get that car oil changed, there's a manual for that car to say, this car takes this type of oil. There's a manual that says this car takes this type of transmission fluid, this type of radiator fluid. All of the things that it takes, if you have to get new tires, there's a manual that says the size of this tire is this. You follow the instructions of that manual, because you know if you put the wrong oil, the car stops. You put the wrong tire, It doesn't run right. There's a manual that's in every Black, Hispanic, and Native Indian's house that tells you how to actually have life and not die. But we reject that book. It's called the Bible. There's laws, statutes, and commandments that say if you eat a certain way, your health will be better. If you kept certain holy days, if you didn't join to certain people, your life would be better. But we have rejected that manual. The Bible said, thou shalt not suffer a witch to live. A witch is a drug dealer. But we embrace the drug dealer. And what does America do? America says marijuana is legal. All these other drugs are legal. And so it makes you feel comfortable. So as we go through these questions, just understand the answer to everything is in your house. But you don't read it and you don't get, you may read it, but you haven't been taught it properly. Because if I say, how you house your community? You house your community by being a brother. Christ said there's no two greater commandments than this. Love the Most High with all your might, soul, and strength. Love your brother as yourself. The community is all right there. But as easy as that is, how many of us will look at our brother that the cat that lives next door to us and plot on him? How many of us would do that? You've seen it. But then when somebody sleep with our woman, now we act like it's a great offense, but we think it's cool to sleep with their woman. If you go to the clubs and you see this woman gyrating, you're not understanding that that woman is a victim of child molestation and somebody raped her, somebody sexually assaulted her. And this is her way of thinking, this is her life. So if you promote that, that's how you destroy a community. So our blocks are not safe because we rejected the law, statutes, commandments of God. It's really that simple. And I know that that solution works because the brothers that you see and hear from our organization represent men that read that Bible, had that Bible for the first time in their life, started following by God's rules instead of our own rules. Our own rules is why we're dependent on an oppressor. Just imagine, we think that in any society, right, any government, any system, it is not your responsibility to police your city. It is not your responsibility to police your neighborhood. What I'm talking about does not police your neighborhood. What I'm talking about helps you be a better brother, helps you be a better sister. The onus on policing the neighborhood is the city. And you can't say they don't know how to do the job. Like I'm from Jersey. And in Jersey, just like I'm pretty sure in Indianapolis, there's a white town and a black town. And I guarantee you the white town is policed way better than the black town. Which tells you they know how to police the neighborhood. They just intentionally do not police your neighborhood. So now you're forced to be put in a position as how can I fix my neighborhood? That's where brotherhood comes in. That's where sisterhood comes in. And you don't take the time to do that. And I can't stress this part enough. When we come out here and we become an offense to our own people when we say stuff like we hate the so-called white, or we hate the white man. And then you'll have black people that tell us we're not supposed to hate the white man. And those same black people are unaliving other black people, are robbing other black people, are stealing from other black people. So in the same breath, it's offensive when you say that because you have put your love and your power and your might into this American system that you can't fathom a way of life without him. In our organization, in our school, we teach you how to overcome that. Or not to be too long with that.
Yeah, kind of cut that up real quick. First submission right there. I think also it's a multi-angle approach. You know what I mean? Sorry. I think it's a multi-angle approach. Another way that we gotta protect our community is a few things. We have to figure out a way to get some more funding to the right brothers, who can put a force together so we can have our own police. Like that's, to me, that's one of the things that's important because it solves multiple issues. You got some brothers who got hard time finding employment, at least good employment, respectful employment, where you're gonna get respectful money. You know what I mean? Enough money to really take care of your family and have respect at the same time. So we need to be able to get some of the money from the city or from these different places, even from our own people, where we can put together a building, get some vehicles, get some brothers on payroll that'll be good, and they can start to stand in as a police force for ourselves. as a people brothers, because that's one thing the police stopped doing. They was told to stop doing this. They were told to stop going in the neighborhood and talking to people. They were told don't go to people's houses and talk to people and talk to the old ladies and get to know the community. They were told to do that. Why? So they can have the police can have a disconnect from the people they policing. So it'll be easier to brutalize the people they policing, i.e. blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans that they police. All right, so I believe also we also need the morality of it, which goes to the right leader to lead the force. But I believe, at least especially for Indianapolis, we need like an intermediary force, like a police force that we can deal with. Like a lot of the domestic issues we have. A brother arguing with his wife, he gets out of control. Police show up, what's their policy? You know, they got to take somebody to jail. Even if the argument's done died down, it's over, you know what I mean? It was a bad argument, but you know, nobody's hurt. Still, somebody got to go to jail. That means they got to take money from that brother. He got to miss work, you know what I mean, if he can get the bail. So it just creates a whole cascade of problems. I think we need our own police force, and we can start to at least even learn how to police ourselves, because it's been so long we ain't policed ourselves. It's been so long we ain't policed ourselves. We got to get back on that type of time. Yeah, go ahead. And if any brothers in the community want to add to it, this is a community discussion. So I know we up on the stage, but it's really a circle in here, so we could all speak on it for different ideas.
I just want to add to that. Money in the police. I'm getting true. Captain Fox, brother to my left, in charge of Indianapolis. He's the police force in Indianapolis. Damn right. When you got an issue, that's violence. You call him, you can solve the problem. The Bible says, you know, and when I speak, y'all gonna hear me reference the Bible a lot, because that's the answer. The answer is not going to the white man's police force because like you said, you got to go to jail. Somebody got to go to jail. I remember when I was in Texas, and one of my partners, now I wasn't an Israelite at the time, but one of my partners gets into an argument with his wife. It gets physical. She calls the police on him. This happened like 1 p.m. in the afternoon. The cops don't show up till 6, 7. You know what happened by 6, 7, right? They done made up. All right, they ain't fighting no more. They sitting in the house, they watching TV, they do. The cops come. When they come in there, even though the woman says, no, everything is okay, they say, nope, you called the police. Now he got to go to jail. Because that's what happens. Because arguments happen. Sometimes physical altercation can happen. And if they make up, somebody still got to go to jail. Now, like Papa said, now you got to have monies involved. You can have something on your record eventually or something like that. In our organization, we have counsel. That's why the Bible says, do you go to the unjust or would you rather go to the just? So if you actually have an issue, we can already do that. We don't need no one's permission to police. We police ourselves to this day. In the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge, we police ourselves already. But we look like the threat because we don't look like the guys that would actually police you properly. You think your pastor will police you properly. You think your pastor will take care of you when your pastor just feeds himself. The pastor does not feed him, which leads right into the next subject about money, because he's right. The government or city should provide resources. He's absolutely correct. But even if they don't provide the resources, the Bible gives the answer for that. It's called tithes. Now, when your pastor say you got to come and pay tithes, he takes that money and feeds himself. In our organization, we actually pay people's rent, we pay their bills, we pay their car notes, we take care of their kids. If they got health issues, we take care of their health issues. That's what we do. So yes, should the community do it? Or should the city do it? Yes. But do we need their permission to take our money and then give it to something better than getting high? Yes, we can do that too. So at some point, we can fix ourselves. We don't need to just always depend on someone else. And that's what we have to learn to do. We have to learn that instead of going to get this, what is it? What drug y'all doing now? What drug? Weed, syrup, crack.
Hey, brother, I want to be getting high. Let me know.
Like, instead of spending that money on drug or that bottle of alcohol, man, give that money to Captain Kapaz and then prove us a liar. Either one or two things will happen. You start giving your money to this brother and see if that money don't goes to the betterment of your community. And if it doesn't, then you can say, I tried it your way and then walk away. But when you do it, and then when you do it, you get more brothers to do it, more sisters to do it, and then see if you can't fix your community. Because you gotta be careful when we start asking for police, because if I'm not mistaken, ICE ain't just attacking Latinos. ICE is attacking Latinos, blacks, they're attacking their own. Because when you give the white man a license to unalive, it doesn't matter what you look like. It doesn't matter your ethnicity at that point. ICE has been given the license to kill. That's what they've been given. So you gotta be careful about asking the police, but that doesn't mean that we can't police ourselves.
Yeah, nah, you 100, Cat. And since you brought up ICE, we got Latino brother here from Honduras. We got the translator as well. Okay, let's see if we can work this out. It's the brother from Dominican Republic. Good. He's on the phone.
Oh, okay.
So, but he know both languages.
Okay.
So ask the brother the question, and then he gonna sell it to him on the phone in Spanish. That's we're gonna try to work that out. You know what I mean? You gotta build bridges too. You gotta build bridges between our communities, the Latino community, the Haitian community, the Black community, Native American community. You gotta build the bridges. Go ahead, get it going. Also, food is ready to serve. Young man Edward and the trooper, you know, with the food. Let the people you can get the food. It's kind of self-serving. Self-serve. So as soon as you're ready, grab you a plate. Ready to say, one project let's take right now, food safety on their own back. The yard study? Say it in Spanish. Say it in Spanish. What's the what part of the steps was to go down to say so por ayudar proseguir.
Necesitamos
He said we need
las personas latinas, pues,
the Hispanic people need,
porque los latinos servimos mucho aquí
I said we know a lot here.
a la comunidad, porque muchos que hemos venido a trabajar fuerte.
They said we work a lot, we work a lot here, we work outside. Let's get into it about what we need for Latinos need for security. Go ahead.
Y pues echamos adelante este país y tanto como esta ciudad fue de Indianápolis, porque hacemos mucho trabajo y
So basically, the Latinos are just doing a lot of work where they can't focus on a lot of other things because they're working so much. Go ahead.
bajo el sol, bajo el frío, trabajamos.
Said no matter what, it's cold, no matter what, they work.
Somos muy importantes en este país, los latinos.
They said we're very important.
Somos muy importantes los latinos
Basically Latinos are very important. Go ahead.
porque sacamos este país adelante.
Now that we're inside the country. Go ahead.
Y a veces es muy lastimoso ver cómo agarra el ICE a las personas latinas para deportarlas.
And he knows how ICE is deporting the Latinos. And basically what he's saying is it's making it hard for them to work. It's making it hard for them to work outside because of ICE. And we all know this. You know what I mean? We all know this was going on. What the Latino community is seeing is their safety problem. The issues they have with safety. You know what I mean? So all of our tribes, all communities have a different issue with safety. You know what I mean? The blacks, the Haitians, and Latinos. Continue.
Ah, pues los latinos, venimos a trabajar duro acá y se ve lástima que
Que tu juego es solución por más seguridad para los latinos. En tu opinión.
pues para más seguridad para los
He
latinos
said, for more security for the Latino community,
y nos cuidemos, tengamos mucho cuidado
that we basically have to look out for each other and be more cautious.
y unos con otros apoyarnos.
We all have to support one another, blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. We have to be each other's support system.
Porque somos muy importantes aquí y
Because we're very important here.
porque nos cuidemos todos los latinos y tanto como todos nosotros que estamos aquí presentes.
He said, well, we're not all here present. We're not all here present. All Latinos are not here present.
Y todos pues los que nos escuchan ahorita, pues también que nos cuidemos donde quiera que andemos y que Dios nos guarde y nos cuide a cada uno.
No matter where we're at, we have to take care of ourselves and take care of our family, and that God may watch over us.
It's okay. All right. So this is what it takes. You know what I mean? In my opinion, we got to come together and talk more. You know what I mean? The communities, because that's how it was in the scriptures, man. When Moses was leading all the people, he was doing it by himself. And then the Lord said, look, it's not good. He said, get you a man from every tribe that's got a name that's known in his area, that's got respect, and put him in power. You know what I mean? Put him in place. So that's what we got to do, man. We got to reach out to our Latino community. And look, I know it looked like every Latino is the same, but don't think that. Every Latino is not the same. The Puerto Ricans got their own community. The Mexicans, the Dominicans, they all got their own community. So that's multiple communities we got to reach out to as far as need to come to these community discussions so we can start to understand each other. You know what I mean? Because we see each other every day. You see the Mexicans at the gas station every day getting ready for work, but you don't know what they're thinking or what's going on with them. But that's going to be your help in these days, man. That's going to be our help. Latino community, Black community, Haitian community, we're going to have to lean on each other more than ever. Because we ain't going to be able to lean on the oppressor much longer. You know what I mean? He's getting ready to turn full fascism. Full, what's the name where they government by race? Only a certain race is allowed to govern and allowed to get power. That's where they're going to. Look, who know that name? Is it called fascism? Yeah, I think it's called fascism. The Germans was trying to do that. Where they say, oh, look, you only got to be a purebred German to have any power in the city or in the Reich or in the government. So yeah. Let's go to the next question. Unless anybody in the community wants to speak on the matter a little bit. It don't matter. Go ahead, bro. We go to the next one.
And feel free to ask a question. Like that's the point of the panel. If y'all do have a question or concern, you can ask.
Yeah. Go ahead, let's get to the next question.
Slide.
Says, how can law enforcement and community organizations work together to prevent crime before it happens?
I'd like to speak on it first, and then anybody else get They said they was going to come, but since they said, we too busy, we got some other stuff to do and worry about the community. We ain't answering no questions about coming together with them because they ain't here to come together with the community. So that's how it should be. Like, you know what I mean? A lot of the old clout and the old prestige of this empire, we got to look at it differently. Like a lot of people we looked at that was the leaders that should be type leaders, we got to look at them like they're not the people. They're not the one. You know, yeah, you got the badge. You got the sheriff name on your car, but you're not the leader. You know what I mean? You ain't the one. Like, it's gonna be a lot of people, shoot, senators, governors, representatives, mayors. A lot of them you're gonna have to start looking at them differently, in my opinion, because they're not gonna be helping you like you figured they would be helping you. You can't look to them like that. That's my opinion. So that's what I think about police coming together. You know what I mean? If they ain't making an effort, then they don't get to decide anything. We move without them.
Hey, you know, we got kids in here, right? NWA had a song called After Police. Public Enemy had a song. Anybody know that song? Like 9 Rings Running Through the Guilt. And it's only in the Black and Latino community. There is no such thing as the police actually coming in. When have we, in the history of our American experience, when has it been good when the police came to help you? If anybody has an answer, I mean, y'all can tell me if there's an answer. I'm glad to listen to it. And I'm not surprised at the silence. Because yes, the police, again, this goes right back to, and what I also want to say too with the ICE thing, for a long time, Latinos didn't think they was a part of our oppression. For a long time, Latinos might have thought, no, that black on black crime or what the police is doing is because of black people. Didn't ICE happen? And here's how specific ICE is. The Latinos are not the only illegal immigrants. Asians, East Indians, Africans, South Africans. I'm saying South Africans because it's not even talking about Africans, but white South Africans. Right. I remember a couple of years ago, it might have been like 2021, 2022. There was some East Indians that were illegal. They brought them over here on Airbnbs. And then there was some Haitians that came and they snuck in here and they had them under a bridge in Mexico. Nobody would feed them, nobody would clothe them, nobody would care. Until my organization, the Israelite School University Project for Knowledge, went into Mexico and fed them diapers, food, and clothing. Because we didn't need the government to help our people. If they're your people, you go to where they're at. And where they had to go, they had to actually travel the drug cartel route. So Captain Isupk and those brothers down in Texas, they go into Mexico looking for where the Haitians was at because nobody would feed them. And so the other Mexicans, they see all these brothers with these trucks of food and they want to know what they're looking for. And they the ones that led us to where they was at. And so my point in saying that is cops should do their job. Police should do their job. That's right. But we see the history of what cops and ICE is currently doing to us. Right. So I think, Kavaj, you should, in the community, y'all should push for the police to do their job. Right. But you should also be prepared for what if they don't do their job. Then what will you do? Will you let the city go and run amok and blame it on the police and never take accountability for your own actions? Or will you say, I'll stop my wickedness? If we want God to watch over, I'm pretty sure everybody go to bed and they say, now I'll lay me down to sleep. I pray the Lord, my soul king. But everybody does it. But when you get up from your prayer and you disobey God, God is not going to help you. That manual that I talked about in the beginning, God said you got to keep his laws. There's a certain way you got to eat. There's a certain culture you got to have. There's a certain way that you have to live to receive that help. Papa brought up Moses. When he brought up Moses, for those that don't know that story, they make it seem like Moses didn't know who he was, and then magically he woke up, he slayed his brother. No, Moses always knew he was an Israelite. And Moses did not want to grow up with the riches of Egypt. And America is Egypt. The Greek word Egypt means bondage. That the real name of Egypt is not Egypt. It's called Kemet or Mitzrayim in the Hebrew. The reason why it's called Egypt is because it's synonymous with bondage. Well, God told the children of Israel, for our disobedience, we would be in bondage again. Now, does that mean it's our fault? No, because we weren't the ones that disobeyed God initially. But we have to look at how did everybody want to know, how did blacks and Latinos get in this condition? You ever notice that it's only us that can't rise up? I've seen the Irish, they talk about the Irish. Irish come over here, they come over here to indentured service, they rise up. Africans come over here, they look at y'all and call y'all a kaka, meaning cotton picker. Asians come over here. Everybody is able to get out of their condition except us. Y'all ever wondered, has that ever, I know it's blown my mind. For all my living life, it blew my mind. How come we're the only ones that are always at the bottom, even though we've been here for 500 years? And that's because the God that we serve has a requirement for salvation. The God that we serve has a requirement to get out of your condition. So just know with every question that's getting asked, the city is supposed to fix every question that they have there. That's their job. But we can see that that city is not gonna fix it. They're not gonna be fair to you. They're not gonna help you. So at some point, the Bible says, gather yourselves together, O nation not desired. And that's black. The only thing that's desirable of us is our music, our athleticism, whatever intelligence we have. They'll steal your ideas. Like they won't tell you the black woman created the cure for COVID. They won't tell you that. If you start going into all of the inventions that America stole, they're by black people. So they'll take your ideas, but they'll never want to be you. And so at some point, we're gonna have to gather ourselves and fix that problem.
You want to get to the question? Y'all want to move on to the next question? Because I don't like the police question.
Slocky Cap got a comment back here.
Yeah, let's get it, man. This whole community get you speak, man.
How's everyone? Happy Valentine's Day to the ladies and gentlemen, necessary. My comment is, thank you for being here, number one. I don't recognize you guys, and I'm wondering why other Israelite groups in Indianapolis are not here. Get to be here.
Okay. Careful, man.
It's very simple. You have to ask them that. Like when we put out the call, it's to everybody that's black, Latino, or Native Indian. We don't restrict anybody. We don't restrict the Muslim, we don't restrict the Israelite, we don't restrict the atheist. We don't, every event that we do in the Israelite school at UPK is for all of us. So if there's an Israelite group out here that's not showing up, I would go to them and say, hey man, ISUPK had this event. Why didn't you show up? Because we can't speak why they didn't show up, but it does speak volumes why they didn't show up. You understand?
No.
What part you don't understand?
Did you invite the other groups? I'm not affiliated with any.
No, I'm not.
I see them all the time. I'm probably the oldest guy in the building. I'm 70 years old.
Right.
I see a lot of this going on.
Mhm.
And once again, the question is, were they invited?
Yes,
That's part of the key also.
exactly. Not only have they been invited to here, I personally invited them to have a sit down where we can all sit down. I've done it multiple occasions.
Okay.
That's what I'm saying. So I don't want to make it seem like we don't invite other Israelite groups here. We do. So the onus ain't on us. Like, no, I'm sorry, I'm saying it. You have every right to ask us, and I have the right to answer you. So everybody is always invited here, but everybody just doesn't show up. Did I answer your question that time?
Yes, sir.
No, I'm just making sure, brother. That's all.
I just want to be comfortable with the question to you guys.
No, man, you can ask whatever
We
question.
appreciate you, but like I said, I come here for my nephew's book signing. I had no idea you guys were even gonna be here. And that's a problem in the community. Why didn't I know you were gonna be here also?
I'm gonna let the box answer that.
I mean, this is a lot nowadays. A lot of things advertised on the internet. So most of our advertising was done on the internet. There's not many easy ways to advertise things outside the internet. So that might be, if you're not really on the internet, you might not have seen it. We did hit up the street team, and did all that and passed out flyers on the streets yesterday and last week. So that's that. But this is the thing, though. This is what brothers always got to remember. It's an old saying. Okay, if you're faithful over something little, you'll be faithful over much. So the start of our community discussions don't have to be big. Sometimes it's better off not being big. Sometimes it's better starting off small with a couple more serious people. And then as it grows, those serious people can make sure they're in the leadership position that needs to be. You know what I mean? As running our own community grows. Like I know it don't seem like it, but we're gonna have to run our own communities better than how we've been doing it. We just gonna have to. We're gonna have to, mainly the men of the community, it's my opinion, mainly the men of the community have to come together and come up with solutions that actually act on them. Because I'm not big on just, there's tons of events where they come together and just talk. Oh yeah, the number of crimes went up. It's so bad. Well, yeah, that's bad. They just talk and they talk and they talk. This is more about action. Because every community event we do, we're gonna raise up money and we're gonna decide what we're gonna do with that money to better the community. That's the goal. That's the real goal. Is the action that comes from the meeting. You know what I mean? So this first meeting, without raising up no money, we're not doing it yet. We're gonna start on the next one. I mean, we could raise up money, but we want to start now. We can put something together and we can come put our heads together and say, look, what do we want to do for Indianapolis, for the young black men? What do we want to do tomorrow? How much money we got to do something? Oh, okay, everybody put up $5, $10. Look, we got $250. What we gonna do? Okay, somebody had a good idea. He got a nephew. We're gonna start a lawnmower business. Boom, we get him a ride lawnmower. He throws it on his truck. Now we already started. Like that's the small things we have to do to start really looking out for our own community. Like really putting our brains together. Oh yeah, Cat.
And then for the brother, what's your name, brother?
Ransom. Ransom Jack.
Ransom? After this meeting, see how you said like you didn't hear about it? I think after this meeting, your contact information, everybody else's contact information should be given to Kapaz. Because if he's gonna start doing that, that's how you open it up. You open up that form of communication by building with these sets of people, and y'all can spread to the next set of people, and then the next meeting should be bigger.
Like-minded people, man. It's about getting like-minded people together. And in our community, Black, Latino, Haitian, getting like-minded people that look, even though I may not believe Israelites, I believe Black, and I want to help the Black community. We can start there. Boom. We can start making moves there. That's what I think on it. Get the Latino voice involved real quick. How we gonna do it? You wanna go to the next question, or how we gonna get Latino voice?
Yeah, we can do that question, so
All right, we're gonna do the next question. Kalai, hit the next question.
Couple times, sir. So what practical steps can residents take right now to improve safety on their own?
I think that one, that was right.
I'll start with
Oh, also, I want to take a second. Everybody clap up for that brother right there. He wrote a book. We invited him to throw his book, and check out his book. You know what I mean? It's about brother struggles in the prisons. He's talking about brother struggles in the prisons, man. So check out his book, man. Buy a copy. This is what I mean by starting to support the community. Buy a copy. I'm gonna buy a copy. You know what I mean? And I'm gonna read the book. You know what I mean? Because even Christ spoke about brothers in prison. Christ said, "Oh, I was in prison and you visited me not. Now you want to get in my kingdom? You ain't gonna get in the kingdom. So you can't just ignore brothers in prison." And we have a prison program as well. You know what I mean? But we can get your loved ones' information in prison, and we can contact them. And if they need to talk, if they need meetings, all of that, we'll contact them. Also, there's drinks and food as well. So if you want the sodas, grab it.
I just want to add about that prison program, because a lot of, as we all know, a lot of brothers and sisters are in jail for crimes they didn't commit. We are the #1 falsely arrested race in America. And so that prison program is something where if you could restore a brother, restore a sister in that prison, because even when they come out, they're told they're nothing. You got a felony on your record. Sometimes you can't do anything. What we do in the Israelite School, Universal Practical Knowledge, is we go into them schools, we teach with our garments on, we teach, we go to the prison program, we reach out to brothers and sisters, correspond if they need money on their books. We do all of that with our prison program. So that's a good book, because brothers need to know what it's like in there. And they need to know that your life ain't over because of some mistake that you made, because we've all made mistakes. We just didn't have to go to prison for it. So we don't have to hold a brother or sister accountable for some mistake they made. We allow them to redeem themselves. I just want to add that. And if anybody wants the information for our prison program, you can just come see us when it's open.
All right, what's the question for the Latino? You got the Latino voice.
What's like asking the English, then I'm sorry, anyway. So what solutions are there for people that feel inadequately represented in the Indianapolis city government and by local leadership?
Let's not do that. Let's do it different. Because that one's still like involving the government. Like they're gonna really do something. They ain't gonna do that.
Okay.
Now we had government representation that appeared, because we did invite the prosecutor's office, we did formally invite the sheriffs, they didn't show up. So
How about this, sir? How can communities promote respectful conflict resolution in everyday public interactions?
yeah, I like them.
el pregunto con los Latinos es, ¿cómo puede, how can communities promote respectful conflict resolution? ¿Cómo la comunidad puede hacer una cosa cuando
La relación,
más, más para la paz, para la gente?
Este, puede ser, es bien los apoyos, ¿verdad? De las otras personas o latinos.
You said it's gonna take a lot of more people to be able to support and back the Latinos, but right now, the Latinos don't have a lot of support, they don't have a lot of love.
Porque yo he escuchado ciertas protestas y sí hay unas organizaciones que se apoyan, pero necesitamos algo más fuerte todavía.
You said there's a lot of organizations out there that like to say they support the Latinos, that back the Latinos, and they do their best. Right now, we need a stronger organization, something that's actually gonna represent us for the fullest.
Porque yo soy uno, yo he tenido apoyo de organizaciones. Me ha ayudado mucho.
He's like, I'm a person here that has been supported by such organizations, and they will help me play.
En muchas áreas, porque una persona le encargue, digamos, inmigración, hay unas organizaciones que vienen y apoyan a los latinos.
Like right now, when we're facing with immigration, someone gets detained and someone is suffering persecution from ICE. And there's organizations out there like the Isupk that somehow assist us and stand for us, assist and provide for the Latino community.
right? What about this? I'm gonna say something real quick. I actually can't definitely always ready to do that. So tell them, oh, man. Oh, tell them, give them all this, all the Latino friends that we have, give them the ISBK number.
Que la escuela de los está listo para mirar todo, apoyar todos los latinos, ciudades, amistades, dile a todos tus amigos y latinos que aquí sí tienen amigos.
Asking, ¿qué tú vas a ayudar por ayuda de detención, de inmigración? ¿Qué tú vas a ayudar? I'm sorry, what type of help can we give? Does he do, what in his mind?
Bueno, hay una canción que está pasando por el extranjero. ¿Qué necesidad va a ayudar?
O bueno, como a veces hay muchas cantidades de latinos detenidos, a veces parece que hay organizaciones, pero no tienen suficiente fuerza porque hay latinos detenidos.
There's so many Latinos being harassed right now and being detained by ICE that a lot of communities out there are not able to withstand the support that they can give out. Because there's so many Latinos being detained right now.
Pero porque sí han habido una organización de que hay gente latinos, sabemos que no tenemos suficiente fondo para poder salir de ahí, de inmigración, porque a veces es muy caro la salida.
It's hard to get out of immigration. One of the biggest things is probably funding because it's hard to get out because of how much it costs, the lawyer fees, the negotiation with immigration, that all costs some money. So a big part of it, as you learn, is that you're seeing right now, it all comes down to money. The government is getting money. These like those brothers and sisters, they're stealing their money. They're using it for the lawyers. All of it goes back to the U.S. government one way or another.
Pero aquí, pues, anunciándole a los latinos que tenemos a la escuela israelita para cuando ellos necesiten un apoyo.
And I'm saying to you right now, you know, we have this and to come give us the assistance and help we need.
And you know, I want to jump in there because I got an idea too. Because I remember, and you can ask me more. I remember they had sort of cards that had like the rights of immigrants, and it had like some thing. You remember that? Where it said, "What should you do if you approach by ICE?" Oh, you know, so that's it. Okay. We need to get some more of those. I think we need to get some more of those, throw the UPK number on there too, so we can, because that's something that can help bridge the gap to some type of support. Like you might be a Latino, he don't know about it. Say, you might see a Latino, he may work with you, work for you, whatever. I got some Latinos in my job. I say hi to them all the time. You know what I mean? But that's about it. They cool. I would love to be able to give them a card and say, look, man, just in case, you know what I mean? Read that card. You know what I mean? It's good for your rights. So you'll know if you get approached by ICE, you have what your rights are, and a number to call. Yeah, we go to the next one. Does he have any more?
Sí, porque yo he visto que cuando no tienen latinos muchos fondos para poder pagar la salida de migración,
I noticed that a lot of Latinos have not had the means or the finances to be able to get their way out of immigration.
y ha habido corporaciones que pagan la fianza por ellos hasta 5,000, 3,000 $4,000.
There's been some people that, some communities that came together and they had to pay for people to be released from immigration. We're talking about $4,000, $3,000, $5,000 per person.
Pero aquí tenemos la escuela israelita también, y por eso estamos representando ahorita.
That's why we have the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge, and that's why we're here today representing with the help and they love that they have from the Latinos.
That's no question. That's no question. How do they find out? Is there a website or an app? How do they find out information on brothers and sisters detained by ICE? See the information.
What's on hay un número que funciona, website.
Y
¿Cómo conseguir la información de persona detenida by ICE?
uno tiene que entrar ahí con el ICE y ver cómo podemos tratar de visitar a los latinos encerrados en migración.
You have to, a lot of times you have to personally go up there to see how you're able to find something.
See something like that. I want to put in the community meeting as like a top priority. Like, where is the center? Where's the spot at? Where we can get the information, and what's their number? Something like that. I think is important to know where's the spot at, just in case we need to help. Like, look, a Latino neighbor may come and say, look, they got my wife, they got my son, they got somebody. Can you go up there and check for me? I don't want to go myself because they may grab me too. We should be able to support them and say, look, we got you, we know information. We'll send a brother up there and ask about if your people is up there. That way you're not in danger. Like, that's the type of shit we got to do. You know what I mean? For our communities. And also people, we got the spot till 4:30. So we're gonna wrap it up about 15 minutes. We're gonna play some music, everybody chill and talk, you know what I mean, afterwards. And be on the lookout for the next event. Because we're gonna do it again and again and again to gather more of our community. Gather together, no nation not desired. One more Latino question? Yes, sir. Yes, sir. No, 4:30, and then we got another 30 minutes to actually. So spot. Yes, sir. If he has more, there's a lot. We're going to one more Latino question.
You didn't want to say as well, if you know someone that has been detained by ICE in Indiana, or you're wondering where the facility is, it's in Brazil, Indiana.
Oh my goodness, it ain't even in the city.
It's in Brazil, Indiana.
It's out there in the boonies. That's like, yeah, that's about an hour. But that's how outside. For people who don't know, who not from Indianapolis, anything outside Indianapolis is racistville. It's racist. You know what I mean? You black, Latino. If a cop see you out there, they try to pull you over. They messing with you. They don't like you out there. Basically, anything outside the city. You know what I mean? So it figures they put the center outside the city so they can easily try to look at every Hispanic that come down the road and make sure that they can attack them too. So it's a whole trap. Like the scriptures say, they lie in wait in the streets, in trappers. So they got a whole trap set up to arrest our brothers, just like they did for us. They hung our steps. All right, go ahead.
Yeah, I want to say the question.
Y hay maneras que uno entra-
This is the brother's books. We got,
So
yeah,
when you get there, you have to
small books.
in the line. They have
This
to go
this one's 15, and small one's 10.
se visitan por pantalla adentro. Y cuando llega la notificación a la pantalla ahí, dice visita. Y ellos también, cuando ellos ya los conocen a nosotros, a la escuela israelita, ellos buscan también cómo manera contactarnos desde adentro, por medio de la pantalla, y le cae un recuerdo a otra persona.
So you're able to go there and you're able to leave notes or messages for the people in there. You say the Israelite School UBK, we're going to be able to soon hopefully get out there and leave our information there to know that the Israelite School University under commanding Canada is doing its best to help out the Latino.
Ahí se siente contenta las personas latinas cuando se sientan por pantalla.
And a lot of people will feel that support, that love, that, you know, the ISK and get out there and show our support and our love for our Hispanic brothers and sisters.
Pues ahí muy agradecida con la escuela israelita también.
He said he's very thankful and very grateful to the Israelites who are for us to pray.
Yo, if people don't know about the situation, ISUBK, we have we house brothers and sisters. We house immigrants. So we house Haitian brothers from other countries. We have help with their housing. You know what I mean? This is a brother that we help with him and his wife in their housing. You know what I mean? Make sure they got a roof over their head while they in the struggle. You know what I mean? And as you see, it pays off because now we gained a brother. You know what I mean? So Lord will, we continue to gain more brothers because that's the goal. See what I mean? So that's in the scriptures, man. You help your brothers, and then it comes around. You reap what you sow. You know what I mean? If you reap destruction, you're gonna gain more. But if you reap helping your brothers and sisters, you're gonna gain brothers and sisters. And clap it up for Karyash, man. Bring that shit back. You back to my brother. What's up? We got another question?
Sir. So are there disparities in attention or resources when people from certain communities go missing?
That was the last question. Karyash, you think you want this one or you want to go to see what's the next question?
What else we got?
Yeah. That one sounds kind of like the he already answered it a little bit.
So how about this, so to wrap it up? After all this information, how can residents stay involved after this discussion? Real changes can happen?
That's right. That's right.
So how can residents stay involved? After this discussion, so real change can happen.
Yeah.
I think this question. Now I hear it. This question more for me now that I hear it. This is the close. Yeah. That's what I'm about. You can just say our number. Basically, like you said, like I said earlier, man, we're gonna have to start governing ourselves. We're gonna have to start taking it more seriously. You know what I mean? It's gonna take more of our resources. And the way we do it, it starts how the scripture says. Like I kept on always saying, gather together, nation not desired. It takes us either having to rent a space like this, or if somebody in this community has a space we could use for less money or for free. We need to have spaces like this where we set aside time to discuss our own community. And like I said, which is we're starting on the next one, put some money together and actually have an actionable thing we do with that money. You know what I mean? That we come together with our own brains and say, look, I think we should do that. Everybody give you a opinion. I think we should do that with the money. We raise $100. Another brother say, I think we should do this with the money. Right? And then we come together as a consensus and do something. I don't like all the talking. You know what I mean? I rather take us right here and walk outside and go, bless some kid with everything he needs. Go to call your mama and tell her we coming over. We're gonna fill your house with groceries or something. You know what I mean? We're gonna buy you, give you some a laptop so you can really step up your education or at least have some entertainment. Who knows? You even got internet at home, TV. You don't know. A lot of kids be suffering, man. I remember we had a school on 10th Street. A kid came up and was kicking with us. And he was kind of just asking for some food. He had no food in the crib. His mom was tripping. You know what I mean? 10th Street, 10th Street. His mom was tripping. And so, yeah, you know what I mean? We ain't had much either. We had to break some noodles to him. So that lets you know it gets serious in the field. So I'm talking ramen noodles. We say, look, we got some ramen packs of noodles like we eat. You gonna eat it too, brother. So the actual steps is to follow ISUBK Indianapolis on Facebook. Follow ISUBK Indianapolis on YouTube. Grab a flyer before you leave, especially if you're in Indianapolis, and follow our social media. So when we do the next event, same community discussion, where we will raise money. So bring your pocketbooks. You know what I mean? Bring some money for the next one. $5, $10, $100. And we're going to put that money together in a pool, and we're going to decide how we're going to actually do something for the community, and then that will start us, and we can keep that growing. Eventually, we'll get big enough where we like, look, we got $200,000. Now we're going to fix this, fix that, fix this, fix that, fix that. Look, fixing our own community. They're going to be mad. They're going to be like, damn, why the black community in Indianapolis so straight? How they able to do that? We ain't selling no, nothing ain't giving to them. How the hell are they fixing their stuff? And they're going to find out. Then they're gonna be real men. And we fixing it ourselves. And that's the goal. You know what I mean? So get our contact information from the flyer, get some food. You know what I mean? Everybody, before you leave, please check out the brother who wrote the book. Check out his book. Go to have a conversation with the brother. You know what I mean? He brought his people through, and I'm grateful for that. And let's clap it up for Henry, man, because he really wants some riches. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? The way I see this, they may try to spot him just because. So that's how serious it is in the Latino community. So we gotta show love and support to our Latino brothers. And one more, clap it up for Campus Zaria, and all the way from Chicago. I mean, I'm gonna say Cat off my minutes. From all the way to New Jersey. And have your love squad, clap it up for Cat. You brought the county here. Stop there. Let you know we ain't alone in this struggle. You know what I mean? Indianapolis, St. Louis, Chicago, Louisville, New Jersey, New York. We all the people. You know, shoot, Honduras. You know what I mean? Mexico. Sorry, yeah, shoot, Mexico. Your people's from Mexico. Canada, but you got peoples there. So Native Americans, Kalas, Native American, clap that up for Kalas. You know what I mean? You got one food. And Rod again, right back there. You know what I mean? Clap it up for him. He can help with the shalom. And clap it up for us. I ain't even in the room. Tell us out the water, brothers. Isaiah tell him the water for cooking the food. Him and his wife, they went through hell making sure the food was ready. The center, electricity was had a problem, and they went to hell to make sure we had some food. Thanks for everybody for coming out. I'll leave some closing remarks for Camp Lazaria. You know what I mean? And we just gonna play some music and brothers just talk, man. Enjoy the last, 30, 45 minutes we have in the space and build some brotherhood and community. You know what I mean?
Clap it up for Captain Kaplan putting together us to come together. This is just a start. And as I stressed in the beginning, man, like if we want to affect change, you have to be the change. If you know the root of the problem and you know the solution to the problem, if you stay in that problem, you just enjoy the problem. And that's what we've enjoyed. We've known the white man is the devil since we've been here. If I could just give us, there's a good book called When I Was a Slave. And in the book, When I Was a Slave, it's slave memoirs from former slaves that were in their 80s and 90s, and they're telling the stories. And as they tell a story of what they endured, they're calling the white man the devil. The black woman, Mary Armstrong, specifically called Old Man Polly and the old woman Polly the devil. So we've always known the white man has been our persecutor. So if you don't know the solution and get away from him, you'll stay in that condition. And getting away from him does not mean that when you go to your job, you cuss the white man out or do anything like that. You can do exactly what they do. The white people that work at your job hate your guts. Your supervisor hates your guts, but he's there to perform a service. When he goes home, all of his resources goes to his people. So you have to do the exact same thing. You go to your job, and then all of your resources go to your people. Your sacrifices go to your people. And as you begin to build your people up, you'll solve your problems. It's that simple. These men that you see, we don't know each other. I don't know none of these brothers without reading that manual, aka the Bible, changing my life. And now I know these brothers in this room. Now I know Kapash. And then now, if y'all continue in Indianapolis doing these meetings, you'll know each other too. And then we'll become that family that can break the change, and we can go from generational curses to generational blessings. That's it. Now it sounds simple, but you don't put the action in, and it makes it hard. With that, I appreciate y'all coming.
That's announcement tomorrow at the school, at the Israelite School on 35th and Keystone, 3532 North Keystone Avenue. We have on the podcast, the Chicago podcast, Round Table of Truth. We start at what, 10 a.m.? Around 10 a.m. We have the Round Table of Truth. Everybody's invited. We'll have food, breakfast as well. I have the pancakes and the sausages. There's no pork and all of that. They're cooked by my ribs. They're gonna put it together. It's gonna be good. Who's gonna just come for the food if anything? If anything, just come through get some food. You know what I mean? Because we gotta feed each other too. And just come get some knowledge. You know what I mean? So that'll be tomorrow at 10 a.m. at 3532 North Keystone. Our address is on Google Maps. Just slide on through for 10 minutes, grab a plate, listen in for a while, and then keep on with your day. You know what I mean? But you're gonna leave with something. I guarantee you, you walk in that door and you listen for a second, you're gonna leave with something. You're gonna leave with something that you're gonna love and need and knowledge. You know what I mean? So wrap that up. Let's get some music going.